And we join the action here. It's another 6th grade game. It's the Ohio Gold and the Fire as Leah just put it up and in for 2. And the Gold strike first. That's Leah pushing the ball to the other end. Leah will take the shot, and that one won't fall for her. And that's taken by the Fire. That's number 25, Layla, on the rebound. And that one is then taken by Claire. Claire's going to push the ball down the floor, push it up ahead, and that's stolen away by Kenzie. So Kenzie gets it back for the Gold, and she gives it off to Ella. Ella over to Leah. Posting up, putting it up, in there. That is Christian, making the score 4-0. Excuse me. Gutman at the line. Shot is up and no good. Gutman's second shot does fall, so 1 for 2 at the line, and the Fire get onto the board. It's 4-1. On the baseline, that shot is up, and that's no good. There's a shot up. That second shot does fall for her. That is Zoe for 2. The score 6-1. And this ball poked away. And back come the Gold now. That shot is up, and fouled on the shot is Christian, so she will go to the line now, and she will shoot 2, apparently. That foul on Elliott. And that first shot by Christian, no good. As McKinley checks in for the Fire, and checking out will be Claire. Second shot up, and no good for Christian. Back come the Fire on offense. That is D. Number 00 is D. She gives it off to Gutman. Gutman, who has the only point for the Fire. Over to Elliott. Back outside to D. D. In the corner. And she has it stolen away from her. That is Ella on the steal. Ella's pushing the ball down the floor now for the Gold. Ella's going to pull up. Pass it over to Leah. Leah. Over to Zoe. Back inside, nice pass, that's up, and Leah gets fouled, so she'll go to the line now, and she will shoot a pair. Leah at the line. Off on the first one. As 0 and 20 check in for the Gold. Alexis 0 and Brooke 20. Leah's second shot, no good. D on the other end. That shot is an air ball, and that one's taken by the Gold. And on the other end, playing a little bit too fast for themselves there, and so it's going to go back to the Fire. Not able to catch up with that ball. And there's a bounce pass that is intercepted by the Gold. It's Leah up ahead. And they say that Leah stepped on the boundary line. I do believe that is the call. And Fire get the ball back. That is D. There's a shot by D, and that shot no good. And she got fouled on her way up, so now D will go to the free throw line, and she will shoot a pair. 8-1 the score. Gold on top, 8-2 now, via that free throw by D. And that shot is up and no good. So 1 for 2 from the free throw line that trip. Gold back on offense. That shot is up, and that does not fall for Zoe. Coming back to the other end, taking it coast to coast, and then she's going to pull up. That is Gutman. Trapped in the corner, and the ball knocked out of bounds. Ball inbounded. Shot up, no good. Out of bounds and off of the Gold. And it's going to remain on this end. That's D. D with a shot, short. And the jump ball, the possession arrow will favor the Fire. Couple of subs to speak of here for the Gold, numbers 10 and 23, Christian and Ella. Sitting, Leah and Kenzie. Inbounded and stolen away by the Gold. And they're going to say that number 20, Brooke, stepped on the line, and it's going to go back to the Fire. That boundary line hasn't been too bad so far today in the other games, but this one, we've seen it a couple times so far, and it's still early. We're just a little under 7 still to go here in the first half as it's stolen away by the Gold. That foul on the Fire, that is Gutman, and that's the third team foul, on the Fire. As subs check in here for the Fire, numbers 24 and 23. 23 Liv, 24 Claire, sitting 25 and 5. 5 Sophie, and 25 Layla. Ball is inbounded to Zoe. Over it comes, and it's just a little bit too hard for the intended receiver, Brooke, and out of bounds it goes, and back to the Fire. 8-2 remains the score. And the Fire will call a timeout, and with that being the case, we'll go ahead and take it with them. With 6:35 to go, the score 8-2. The Gold lead the Fire here on GBA TV. Back to the action here. The score 8-2. The Gold lead the Fire. Gold on offense. And that's taken away by D. D pushing the ball to the other end. It's 1-on-2. There's a shot. That's up. That's no good. That's taken by Brooke. Brooks got it for the Gold. Gold's got it now. Up ahead, and that one too strong for Alexis, and it's going to be Fireball again. Leah checking in for the Gold. Brooke checking out. The ball is inbounded to Liv, and she gives it back to D. So D at the point. Bounce pass to the free throw line. That's to McKinley. Back outside to D. D on the drive, and it's poked away from her. She gets it back, gives to Gutman. And out of bounds off the Fire and back to the Gold. Over to Alexis. She gives up to Christian. Christian takes that shot. That's no good, and that's rebounded by the Fire. That's Gutman. Gutman on the rebound, pushing the ball down to the other end. She's got path to the bucket, and then that path is impeded, and I do believe they're not going to call a foul. They're just going to say that Christian knocked the ball out of bounds, and it remains Fire's ball. To the foul line. That shot up. That's no good for McKinley. That shot no good for Liv, and taken by the Gold. That's Leah. Bounce pass over to Zoe. In the corner, that's a three-point look. That doesn't fall, and it's rebounded by the Fire. That was Leah with a nice-looking three-point shot. Just didn't fall for her. And the Fire have it now as they're kind of trapped in the backcourt. They got to get it across here. It's coming our way, and up ahead it goes, and it's over the head of the intended receiver, McKinley, and back to the Gold it will come. .440 and winding on this first half clock. And into the paint, and it's taken away by the Fire. Nice steal there on the part of McKinley. She gets it over to D. D kind of trapped in the backcourt a little bit. I keep awaiting one of these balls to come our way and perhaps knock over our equipment. A lot of action here on our side of things. And it was out of bounds off of the Gold. So the Fire keep it. That is McKinley. Over it comes to Sophie, and she had it blocked, and the Gold have it now. Leah. Leah up ahead on the drive, puts it up, no good. And then it's poked away. Nice steal there by Christian. And out of bounds, and it will go to the Gold. Inbounded to Zoe. Zoe kicks it outside. Zoe loses it on the dribble, and it's taken by the Fire. That is Claire with it. Claire's got it for the Fire, and Claire has it poked away from behind, and that's taken away by Christian. Christian, it's 1-on-1 right now. Christian on the drive, on the layup. That's good. Christian's got 6 with the score. The Gold 10, the Fire 2. D. That foul on Zoe. That's the third Gold foul. As Kenzie checks in for the Gold. And Alexis will sit. And inbounds and taken away by the Gold. Lee on the drive with the left hand. That doesn't fall for her. Second shot up, and that is good. That's Zoe for 2 with the score 12-2. The Gold lead the Fire by 10. To D. Bounce pass over to Brooke. I'm sorry, to McKinley. Back to D. Kicks it over to Sophie. Sophie gives it off on the baseline to Claire, and then it's taken away by the Gold, so the Gold get it back. And there's... And they're going to get a charge. They're going to get a charge on Leah. So 12-2 remains the score. Fire getting the ball back. That's Zoe. Zoe ends up with it off of that interception, and Zoe takes the ball to the other end and loses it out of bounds, and it's going to come back to the Fire. D at the point, allowing the offense to develop here. Short corner shot, that is up, and that does not fall for McKinley. As Christian kicks it outside to Ella. Ella, pass up, three-point look, gives it off to Leah, who will attempt the three-pointer. That doesn't fall for her, and it's taken by Gutman. So Gutman has it, and now there's a loose ball, and Brooke will check in for Zoe. Brooke loses it to Gutman. Gutman over to D. And into the paint it goes, and that was Claire she was looking for, but it's taken away by the Gold instead. And then the Fire get it back on the steal by Elliott. Elliott with a shot. That doesn't fall. That's taken by Leah. Leah, outlet pass to Ella. Ella pulls up, gives it back to Leah. And out of bounds. There's that boundary line being a bugaboo once again. We've seen it 3 times this game. We're at just under a minute to play here in the first half. 12-2 the score. And the shot on the other end by Layla doesn't fall. Second shot opportunity. That's no good. Taken by Gutman. She passes it out to D. And it's actually Elliott who ends up with it. She takes the shot. That doesn't go for her. And then there's another opportunity for Claire. That doesn't go. And it's Layla who ends up with it. All kinds of opportunities here on the offensive boards for the Fire. Not able to do anything with it. The Gold finally get it back. And that is Christian. Christian pushed the ball to the other end, laying it up and in. Christian's got 8 of the 14 Gold points with 20 seconds to go here in the first half. 14-2 the score. The Gold on top of the Fire. There's a shot. That's up. That doesn't fall for Layla. And loose ball will favor the Fire. Inbounds it comes to D. D, turnaround shot, gets fouled. That's the 5th Gold foul, and so D, who is 1 for 2 at the line, is going to go back there. So far, no field goals for the Fire. Both of their points have come off of foul shots. As the first shot misses for D. D's second shot is good. 14-3 the score. And that will do it for the first half. And we'll be back with the second half. The 6th grade girls game at the first ever Katie Smith Classic at Dublin Scioto High School right here on GBA TV. And the Gold get the ball to start the second half here. This 6th grade game between the Gold and the Fire. It's Jeremy Scott with you. Kayla Cazell on camera. Of course, big shout out to all the administrators helping to make this happen as well. Caleb Graham and Jeff Ferguson and John Ferguson and everybody else back at Studio Central. Stolen away by the Fire. That is D with it, taking it to the other end, putting it up. That's no good. And then there's a big block, but they're actually going to say that the Gold got more body than they did ball, and so that is a foul on the Gold. First team foul for either side the second half. That shot is up, and it falls for Layla. Make the score 14-4. Layla's second shot is short. And that's Zoe playing the point. Zoe over to Ella. Over to Leah. Leah at the top gets a pick from Kenzie. Kenzie gets the ball in the paint and puts it up, and that's partially blocked. And out of bounds it goes off of Kenzie. She was trying to save it from going out of bounds. She ended up losing it out of bounds, and it comes back to the Fire. $14-4 the score here in the second half. Early going. We're just a minute gone by. It's Claire who had it and then lost it as Leah gets it back for the Gold. Leah taking it herself. Dishes it out to Christian. Christian with the three-point shot. That's too long, and there's a tie-up. And the possession arrow will favor the Fire. So we'll come back the other way with this. D. Guarded by Zoe. Bounce pass over to Layla. Layla with the shot. And that was partially blocked, I do believe. It's up ahead to Christian. It comes. Christian. Nice little pass over to Zoe, who lays it up. Doesn't get it to fall. And then that ball is tied up. And the possession arrow will favor the Ohio Gold. They stack. They break the stack. Zoe inbounds it to Leah. She puts it up and not able to get it to fall. Layla rebounds it, gives it off to D. D will push the ball up the floor. D. And that ball partially blocked, and it's partially blocked again. And that was Elliott who had the first shot that was partially blocked, and then Elliott got the ball back, put it back up, got fouled on her way up, and so Elliott will go to the free throw line. Elliott, no points yet. And that remains the case after that free throw. Second shot. Too long. Offensive rebound, and there you go. That's the first Fire field goal, and that was Elliott on the field goal to make the score 14-6. Yeah, before that, all the Fire points had come off of free throws. As Christian takes a shot, that's up, that doesn't fall. And out of bounds it goes. And it remains Gold ball. Inbounded to Leah. Outside to Zoe. Over it comes to Ella. Ella. Back to Kenzie. And the foul on the baseline called on Layla. As McKinley checks in, Layla checks out. Ella to inbound it for the Gold now. And does to Kenzie. Kenzie back to Ella. Bounce pass over to Christian. It went off of her foot. She's able to get it back. Some fancy dribbling there by her. Gives it back to Ella. Ella out to Leah. Over to Zoe on the left wing. Zoe driving it inside, putting it up and in. Zoe's got 6 points. The score 16-6, the Gold up by 10. It's D. Passing it over to Gutman and taken away by Leah. Leah going to take it herself, lay it up, and not able to get it to fall. Offensive rebound by Christian is good. Christian has 10. The Gold lead it by 12, 18-6. Bounce pass, stolen away. Stolen away by Kenzie. Kenzie's going to push it to the other end. It's 3-on-1, and she hesitated just slightly, and her pivot foot left the court, and a travel is called, and it's going to come back to the Fire. So that's D. D loses it on the dribble, able to get it back. Now on the baseline, it's out of bounds, and it's going to come back the other way. Liv just wasn't able to keep it from going out of bounds. She kind of lost control of it, and it's going to come back to the Gold after this timeout with 8:05 to go. The Gold up by 12. Back after this on GBA TV. Back to the action here. The Gold up by 12. They lead the Fire. Outside to Brooke. Over to the elbow. That is Alexis on the drive, and that foul will be on Sophie. And so Alexis, who was in the act of shooting, will step up to the charity stripe with a chance to add 2 to her team's score. First shot, nothing but the bottom of the net. As Elliott checks out for the Fire. Alexis' second shot falls. 20-6 now is the score. Biggest lead for the Gold so far. It's 14. That's to Layla. And that's taken away by Zoe. Zoe pushing the ball to the other end. Zoe has a path to the bucket, pulls up, takes the shot, and puts it in there. Zoe's got 8 points. The score 22-6. The Gold lead the Fire by 16. It's D. Over to the foul line. That's McKinley. Back outside it comes to Sophie. Sophie back to D. D has the ball taken away from her. Zoe taking the ball to the other end on the fast break. Nobody there to contest her. And now Zoe has 10 points. The score, the Gold 24, the Fire 6. 7 minutes to go here in the second half. That's D on the shot. No good on the runner. And taken by Leah. Leah just kind of outmuscled everybody for that rebound. Leah trying to find Kenzie, and does, and then Kenzie was trying to give it back to Leah, and nobody was home, and so it's going to go back to the Fire because of that misfired pass. That's D at the point. Into the short corner it comes. And having it knocked out of bounds, and it will remain on that end. That was Gutman. Into the low post, up and in for Layla. to make it a 24-8 game. Gold on offense, and stolen away by the Fire. That is McKinley who had it, and then it was taken back by the Gold. Into the post to Christian. That shot is up. That's no good. That's taken, though, by Ella. Ella dribbles it outside. Down low, and up, and no good for Alexis. And rebounded by the Fire. Pushing it up is Claire. Claire has it knocked away from her by Ella. Ella is going to have the ball knocked away from her and out of bounds, and it's going to remain at that end. That was Gutman with good defense there by the Fire, who knocked it out of bounds, and so it will remain on this end. Inbounds it comes to Brooke. Over to Ella. Ella on the drive on the baseline, kicks it back outside to Zoe. Zoe on the runner, puts it up, that's no good. Rebound on the offensive side by Alexis, and there's a scrum for that loose ball, and that's D who tracks it down. And had it knocked out of bounds, and it will be Fire ball. D. Dishing it off to Gutman. Gutman on the baseline, no good. That's Layla, had her shot partially blocked. Down low, there's a foul, and the Fire are going to be going to the line to shoot a couple. That'll be McKinley to take these shots for the Fire. McKinley yet to enter the scorebooks, but could do so right here with these free throws. Long on the first shot. Second shot falls. 24-9 now the score. The Gold lead it by 15. Christian into the corner and tried to find Alexis in the post, but overshot her. That foul on the Fire, that foul on Layla. That's the third team foul on the Fire. But Alexis, who's 2 for 2 at the line today, will go back there now. Alexis. First shot is good. 25-9 the score. Alexis' second shot, no good. And that's her first miss at the line. So the score remains 25-9. There's a full court press by the Gold. Fire able to beat it. That's D with some nice dribbling there. Gives it off to Layla. That shot doesn't fall for her. Goes out of bounds and off of the Fire and back to the Gold. Ella. Cross court to Christian. Christian with a shot. No good. Rebounded by Alexis. Gives it off to Zoe. Outside, there's another shot. That one no good for Brooke. Underneath, Christian has it, and Christian had it blocked away from her. They say no foul. She hit the deck, but they say it was all ball. And it's intercepted by Zoe. That foul on Claire will put Zoe at the free throw line. She hasn't been there yet today, but she does have 10 points. Zoe's first free throw no good as Elliott checks into the ball game for the Fire for Claire. Back end of the two-shot situation does not fall for Zoe, so Zoe 0 for 2 at the line. That trip as the Fire have it. That's Gutman. Gutman knocked out of her hands and out of bounds. 3:51 to go here in the second half. Couple of subs to speak of. Leah and Kenzie both back into the ballgame for the Gold. Checking out will be Zoe as well as Brooke. Short corner shot, that doesn't fall. Alexis has it. Pushes it up ahead to Ella. And there's a foul, and that'll put Ella on the line. Front end of these free throws, no good for Ella. Puts in the second one, 26-9 the score. 17-point advantage here for the Gold with 3.5 to go. Into the left corner, underneath. And taken away by the Gold. Leah, 1-on-2. Leah taking it all the way. No good on the lay-in. Christian with the rebound. Taken back by Leah. Outside it comes to Ella. Long three-point attempt. No good. Rebounded by McKinley. Up ahead to D it comes. Christian pursuing her. And Christian able to get back on defense and prevent D from having a clear path to the bucket. Knocks the ball out of bounds. Remains Fire's ball, but good hustle there on the part of Christian and the Gold. Outside to D. Three-point shot is an air ball, and that's taken back by the Gold. Christian pushing the ball to the other end. Gonna pull up, take the shot, and get fouled on her way up, and so Christian will go to the line because of that foul by D, and Christian will shoot a pair. She is 0 for 2 from the line so far. Christian at the line. First shot, in. 27-9 now. Second free throw forthcoming. And that one does not fall for her. Gold have it though. Christian. Shot is good. That's a 2-point bucket. That makes it a 29-9 game. It's a running clock at this point until the Fire can score. Layla kicks it out to Elliott. Elliott with a shot, no good. And rebounded by Layla. Layla gets it back, puts it back up. That's no good. And it's the Gold who end up with it. That is Ella with it. Gold up 20 with under 2 minutes to go. To Christian, she puts it up no good. Offensive board, scooped up by Kenzie. She puts in her first 2 of the game. 31-9 now the score. With a minute and a half to go. That is Elliott. Over to Sophie, back to Elliott. And underneath it comes to Liv. And she has it stripped away from her. Christian pushing the ball to the other end. 1-on-2 right now. She pulls up and she gets tied up. She hits the deck. And she's going to be called for a travel. (31-9). On the other end, on the baseline, that's no good. Rebounded there by the offensive player. That was Liv. She wasn't able to put it back in with that second shot opportunity. And we are now under a minute to play with the Gold up by 22. Gold pretty much have this one sealed as Leah adds 3 more. 34-9 now the score. So the Gold could pretty much run out this clock if they wanted to. And it's taken away by the Fire. That's Claire. Claire, can she add to her team's total before this clock runs out? She is fouled. Nope, was out of bounds. No foul. And the clock continues to run. 3, 2, and 1, and that will do it for this one with the final, the Gold 34, the Fire 9. We'll be back with more action right here on GBA TV.